Now, my biggest inspiration was actually my uncle. He had a giant drum set, and I saw him pounding on it, and I was like, that looks really fun. Right now, I'm in two bands, Reagan Youth, punk rock band from the 80s, Lawless Few. We're actually in the studio about to start recording our first album.
When you go to a gig, what's the one piece of gear you can't go without?
Oh, well, for me, it's funny. I think a lot of people would probably say their cymbals or their their snare or their sticks. For me, it's my pedal. I've gone to a lot of different, played a lot of places where I didn't bring my own pedal, and I felt so uncomfortable that I couldn't play the normal speed that I could with my pedal that I love, and I think I'm so comfortable with it at this point that it's just something that I need to have for most of my gigs. So when I don't have it, it's a real drag.
Right, that's a good point. That's a good point. For years, I would hear that people would bring their pedal. They'd say, "Bring your cymbal, snare, and pedal," and I never really understood why, because I didn't have a connection to a pedal yet until actually the same pedal you have now, I think is the Pearl Eliminator?
Yes, the Eliminator, yeah.
I've been playing Pearl Eliminators now for years, and not to give them a pitch, but the reason why I too do try to bring it with me when I can is because of the comfort, because you can adjust your sticks, you can adjust your tuning to a degree if you have time. And you can adjust your pedal, but you can't usually adjust other people's pedals to make them feel like yours. But when you play your pedal, and you've done all that work on it, and you bring it with you, it's going to feel right, and it's not going to need any adjustment. And that's another part about preparing I want to really hit home about this month, is preparing doesn't just mean knowing the music. It's also knowing how well you can perform it on what might be less than standard gear. A lot of times as drummers, as we'll get to in the next couple questions, we have to adjust. That's just like the name of the game. Back to being a student, and I want to throw this in there, I think you had been self-taught through that whole time,
yes,
right?
I was self-taught, yeah. I actually took a few lessons with one guy, and I didn't really like him. After that, I didn't take lessons for a little while, obviously, until I started taking with you again.
Right, so basically, what made you start taking lessons?
Well, I think for me was that once I kind of conquered what I could do on my own, there were so many more things that I heard other drummers play and different styles that I heard that I really liked, but I just couldn't teach myself how to play these styles on my own. That I found a teacher, obviously, that knew all this stuff that I wanted to learn, and you showed me in a really good way how to learn this stuff piece by piece, and that it wasn't just something that's going to come overnight. I mean, a style is something that you take all your life to learn an entire style, but there's elements to that style that you can learn by just doing certain exercises and listening to certain kinds of music, and that's a big point, is listening to these other kinds of music will help a lot. Give you more diverse sound in your drumming, because once you're listening to other kind of music besides just what you think you listen to every day, it's unbelievable what the ideas that you can come out from them, honestly.
You know what? I'm glad you hit that point. When I first started, I didn't want to be shown what to do. I wanted to learn just by doing it, by trying to emulate the music I heard. And I think it was about 2 weeks into it, I realized I never used my feet.
Right.
I only could get my hands going, and even that was pretty trying. So I too sought teacher, and my first teacher, Russ, from the local music store, was just a great teacher because he exposed me to more music. So next question, now that you are a teacher, what's the most frequently asked question
Well,
you get?
I've only been a teacher for a little while now. I'm just I'm substituting at the School of Rock, so I can't say I'm a hardcore teacher yet, but I guess the most question I've gotten asked so far is, when I'm playing by myself in the room and a student will come in, they'll see how fast my hands are going, and they'll say, "How do you get your hands that fast?" And I always tell them the same thing, just for me, like, I'm just playing single strokes, actually, for the drummers out there that know what single strokes are.
Right, a lot. I would say, a lot of your technique is based on power,
right,
and agility. So a lot of that, style, especially in the music style that you play, you do utilize a lot of dynamics by using single strokes, right, left, or left, right. Yeah,
exactly.
And so you get the question,
how fast? How do you do it so fast? And I tell them, every person that's asked me so far, that I just I play every day. I play on my lap, I play on my pad, I play on any surface I possibly can, and I just tap and tap, and eventually you'll get faster. I mean, it's going to happen. Like, as long as you practice, it's going to happen.
Right. It's one of those instruments that the more time you put in, the more you get out.
Totally.
And you almost can't hit a ceiling to a degree, because people keep getting faster. And it isn't just about speed, it's also your agility.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of speed doesn't just come from just blatant muscles going faster. It's also that you're able to conduct more energy more fluidly, more fluidly, I should say, because of relaxation,
Right.
proper hand technique with the way you're holding the sticks. I know you've moved to different sticks before, so the equipment can help as well. But I'm sure overall, it's the time you've put in. So
Totally.
that's a good response, because sometimes when students have come to me and asked similar things, how do you get so fast? It isn't just so easy for them to get their head around. It takes years.
Right.
But if they see the little improvements,
It's a disappointing answer when you hear that.
right?
Yeah.
But yeah, but what's amazing, especially because I usually tend to teach students every week or every couple of weeks, they don't see the progress, but as a teacher, you begin to see the progress. And what I like to show them sometimes, even with hand technique, is sometimes when they haven't gotten it at first, you give them something challenging, they're getting it in their mind, but they haven't quite achieved the, they're not getting the result yet, and they bit by bit just get it. And they all of a sudden, they get it. I like to remark them, see how long that
Right.
took?
Clicks.
That took 5
Yeah.
minutes, or took 3 minutes, or 20 minutes, and you've gone from something you didn't know to something you now totally know, and now you can just keep improving. And when they see that, they go, oh, you're right. So they always seem to feel that feeling of, I guess, of accomplishment. And the more that they continue that flow of accomplishment, the more that they're inspired. It doesn't feel like work.
Totally, yeah.
And then the speed comes later. They don't worry about the speed anymore.
They're just so
Yeah.
psyched on how they got that one thing down.
Yeah, the irony is, to play fast takes a long time.
Totally.
It's a slow process.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, very good. Very good.
Try to play with as many people as I can during the week as well, whether it's just jamming or my band, which is something that is practicing in a way too, because you're
Absolutely.
practicing playing with other people.
That's absolutely true.